Welcome and Merry Christmas from the St. Louis Syndicate. Hope everybody is having an outstanding week. It's Monday night, Brandon. We're recording a full 2 days early because of the holiday cheer that's about to happen. I know you like your cheer. Any big plans for the holidays?
I think just hitting up all the different segments of family
Yeah.
and kind of make our way around the area. What's your plans look like?
Nothing too crazy. We've got my son's at a Friendsgiving slash Friends Christmas party tonight. We've got
Nice.
a little gathering tomorrow, and then just family stuff for Christmas Eve, and a little bit more family stuff around the area on Christmas Day. So we're gonna be plenty of Christmased out. I am so glad there's football on though during Christmas, man.
Yeah. Oh man, this is exciting. I love just college games every day, NFL games almost every day. Then getting better than that.
Yeah. So just a quick shout out to my cousin Jake, who lives in the Alton area, and I saw him back home for my mom's Christmas this year, and he goes, "I see you're doing that podcast. I've been watching it a little bit," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Nice. There
So
we go.
we're gonna shout out Jake as one of our known listeners. Known listeners, if you let us know, we'll shout you out on the pod just in case.
Absolutely.
My mom listened once, my cousins listened once. So I mean, between your brother, I can't get my brother to listen, but I mean, we'll eventually get there.
I'm handing it out to everybody that comes up and talks to me about numbers.
Yeah, check us out.
And
We're right here.
podcast you can listen to.
Yeah, it's
So yeah.
outstanding. Well, this is going to be a different format today, Brandon. We made the quick decision that we're going to do a quick, brief holiday episode because you guys are going to be all full of cheer. We're not going to go into our long, drawn-out debates about why this number should move an eighth of a point one way or the other. We're going to give you some quick, hard-hitting facts on 2 or 3 games each, and we're going to cover some Survivor. And we're going to start with Survivor, so let's kind of hit that now, Brandon.
Yeah.
The Sandman's Survivor pool, 12 guys last week. Do we still have 12?
12 guys. We got 2 guys that are pending San Francisco tonight. We're 9 minutes left in the second quarter, and San Fran just went up 7. So a good night so far for those guys.
They're happy.
But everybody else, Houston, Philly, knocked those out. So
Houston could have been disastrous. How many were on Houston?
2, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah. Houston was messing around, and we touted Houston, so I'm really glad they pulled through to make us look a little smarter
Yeah.
than we are normally.
It's one of those things that, is ingrained in my betting brain that once they weren't going to cover, I was like, I hope you guys just lose. So, it does kind of go that way. Sorry for all the people that had them in Survivor for me to just be rooting against you. But
I do the
when I
same
laid
thing,
14
though.
and a half points, probably for a ridiculous reason, and then you're watching the game and it's like Vegas is down by 3 for most of the game, you go like, we're 1 pick 6 away from ruining a bunch of people's weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And so either way, we made it through it. At this point, interestingly enough, Cincinnati has kind of circled their way back around
Yeah.
to being a favorite. And they're at home and they're playing Arizona.
Yep.
And, right there at 6.5 or 7. My numbers make them like 12.3 point favorites. And the vast majority of our group that's left all have them available. So it'll be interesting to see as we kind of look at some of these teams that are big favorites on the road. And we're pretty limited on home favorites. Cincinnati really being the only one.
Yeah.
Everybody else, Dallas is on the road, Denver's on the road, Seattle, Jacksonville, New England, and the Rams are the rest of the teams that are above a 6-point favorite. So where does your head go when you start thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, and just so you know, and we've shared with you, but not everybody, we're not going to put our big slide up that shows our record. We actually kicked some butt last week, guys. The record is good. We kicked a lot of butt only on our New Orleans play. We did win with Buffalo and Houston, but boy, there were some rough wins there. But I'm with you on the Cincy. So if I had to say our play or risk reward, I mean, all of it, it really is Cincy. I mean, playing Arizona, Arizona's bad. I tend to at this
And
point.
they finally had like a full-on bad game.
Yeah.
Where like they didn't just get beat, but like their players didn't play.
Yeah.
And like more guys got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see as the week evolves and like the injury reports kind of get more flushed out if this number gets even more advantageous for Cincinnati.
Yeah. And I'd stay away. I don't think we have anybody that has Denver or the Rams, so we're good there. If you have Denver or the Rams in your pool and you're seeking our advice, I don't know how I could pick against Denver this week. Kansas City has no quarterback. Even though it's in Kansas City, I would like to say they'll play inspired, but we were just talking, and to kind of intermingle a breakdown, at the end of the day, this game may end up 17-0 or 15-0. We're not sure Kansas City can score against Denver, and the defense is just going to wear out. Even if Kansas City's defense does great the whole first half, eventually they're going to be on the field so much because of the 3 and outs that they're just going to. And Andy Reid's going to press, put them in a bad position, go for it on 4th down. Somebody's going to do something. It's going to end up being 15-17. So for Survivor, go with Denver.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Look, if you got them, it's always rough when you go, one of these teams just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Because you go, technically, they could tack back towards the median at any time. You just don't think they're gonna. But home teams, that's one of the problems. And, a lot of people kind of talking about that, this was, I think this is the Netflix game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Whoever's airing it, this is their only one.
Yes.
And that they kind of got snowed on it. And that they think that depending on what kind of message comes out of the team as the week goes on, that this may be a Travis Kelce's last home game sort of marketing opportunity from the TV side.
That might be
so
all
it depends on, I guess, what the team, if they're getting jazzed up for that sort of thing. And even if they do get jazzed up, if they have the firepower to follow through on it.
Just don't think they
do. Wouldn't that be a last kick in the pants? Wait until Kansas City was all the way down and then them figure out a way to win this game at home on Chris. Like, you're taking a lot of things into account there. If you start going down that road of like, let me lay it with Denver and hope this works.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Do you have another one that you like?
I do, but it's scary. It's scary because it's a division battle and it's on the road.
Okay.
But I think this team is poised right now to continue taking steps forward, and Pittsburgh over Cleveland is available if people have Pittsburgh. And I think they probably do. And the reason why I say Pittsburgh over Cleveland is we've talked about this. Pittsburgh seems to be starting to peak at the right time. Rodgers seems to have figured it out a little bit. The running game's moving well. They've been winning without Watt. Watt's coming back. Cleveland is, while battling hard, and I've got to give the kid credit, right? Shador's doing everything he can, and they just played Buffalo tough.
Yeah.
I really feel like Pittsburgh is peaking at the right time. Pittsburgh has to continue winning in this battle to hold on to the North. It's a place for Pittsburgh to win, is my thought.
It is. It's a little rich for my blood.
Yeah.
On the road, where Cleveland is the only place they have been playing good D. But they should. I'm probably going to lay the points.
Yeah.
As far as the entire pool play, I think that's the right side. But, for me, 2 weeks left, I would honestly rather put it in Burrow's hand and go, I hope this is the week he takes enough of Zoloft to be happy when he gets out there. And maybe Myles Garrett chasing around 175-year-old Aaron Rodgers, trying to tear both of his legs off.
Only to play devil's advocate. Only to play devil's advocate. I'm with you. But if everybody's got Cincy, man, it'd be fun to root against Cincy. If you had Pittsburgh,
you are very right.
Everybody else,
when you have something like the Sandman Survivor, where you can sit right there and you can see that, that's one of the ones that almost everybody has the opportunity to take. If you have another one that you like, then you should grab them. But you have to take it into account that, like, all of the rest of the home teams are piddly numbers. There's nobody else above a 3 right now.
Yeah. And it's
So,
hard to win on the road in the NFL. It's hard.
Yeah, you either have to take a swipe at one of these, and Pittsburgh might be a very good pick, especially if you get to be about 2:30 Eastern, Pittsburgh's winning, Cincinnati's behind, and you start getting to get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, unfortunately, I think I'm going to end up on Cincinnati myself. I don't really see a great alt play for me at this point.
Yeah.
So that's probably just going to be the one, and hope that most of the people in the pool that I'm still will, because of the up and downness to Cincinnati, will play various other, New England and Denver and whatnot. Maybe one of those will pop and somebody will lose. But
Yeah.
the Cincinnati just seems like the safest play.
Oh, yeah. I don't disagree with you, but you asked, so I had to give you one.
Yeah. No, I gotta get, the aggressive picks.
Yeah.
You gotta get them out there for people to think about.
So, switching gears, heading into our plays for the week, what jumps off the pages to you? I know you've got a couple of really big numbers out there, so let's talk about those to start with.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jacksonville is again my biggest delta between my number and the line. So
Not unfortunate.
I'm making them just over. Well, what's unfortunate about it is that you just had this amazing win on the road.
Yep.
And then you got to go back home and get yourself settled, do Christmas, and then get back on a plane and go to Indy and play in division against a team that, even if they lose tonight, I don't know, actually, as I started that sentence, they might be completely bounced out of it because Houston's ahead of them as well.
Yeah.
So this might be, and it might get super useful, to be perfectly honest. If they lose tonight, they've only got 8 wins. Jacksonville is at
11,
and Houston is at 10. They're pretty much dead in the water.
Yep.
So it's over. And then it's just, hey, what does Jacksonville have the motivation to do against this team? Now, with the line being under 7, makes me feel much better about it than these crazy big numbers that I've got on big numbers. Last week I had, Houston as an 18-point favorite, but you still had to lay the hook on the 14. Which came back to bite us on the ass. And the same thing with Buffalo. Buffalo was like a 14-point favorite for me. You still got to lay the hook on the 10. So this is one where we're on the fun side of the number. What is your numbers kind of break it down at?
For that game, I'm definitely on Jacksonville, but my numbers have them more to pick them right now. Now, I haven't updated completely because I just ran through and did my data switch from last week in. So I think there's going to be some minor adjustments in there, but I've kind of got them sitting at almost a pick 'em. Jacksonville, being a slight favorite here. My numbers are very, very skewed, though, Brandon. If you recall, I'm very heavy on the division, right? So the division rivals, I always end up getting closer in those. So my numbers tend to lean towards a tighter spread when it comes to division rivals because I just feel that's important. And I was just actually trying to do a little research while we were talking to see if I could find the matchup trends for the Jags and the Colts.
If I remember correctly, it is heavy in this matchup.
Yeah.
We had the one earlier this year where Indy went to Jacksonville, and they haven't won in Jacksonville since like the turn of the century.
Yeah.
And I believe when everybody was bringing up that stat, it wasn't as severe as that, but it
Yeah.
was nearly as severe as that. The Jacksonville's only won once or twice in Indiana in the last several years. So it's definitely a risky thing. And, we're going to see how this game kind of works out here and decide whether they want to scare me off of it or not. If Phillips back there in the second half just whipping the ball around and maybe hesitant to go out there and lay the points. But right now, as we stand, that's the biggest one for me.
Yeah. I'd like to see Indy keep this one close just for my other pools, but every time I look
Yeah,
up, San
I
Francisco's
wish.
kind of
Well,
marching.
yeah, they're having a real hard time
Yeah.
stopping. What's your best play of the week so far?
My best play of the week right now, pure numbers wise, and I really think it'll probably happen, is I've got the Rams favored by 11 over the Falcons. And I think that line is sitting currently at 8.5. So
Yeah,
I don't see any way that the Rams are taking their foot off the gas with San Francisco breathing so hard. And the Falcons are just not good. I was just looking at what they did last week, actually, and I was kind of like, they just eked by Arizona, who's not very good.
they figured out how to make it happen, but it definitely was not
It was kind
a
of
beating in
ugly
any world.
game. Yeah, I think that's a game that just from a matchup perspective does not bode well for Atlanta. I think Kirk Cousins is not going to hold up well against that pressure, and Atlanta just is not consistent enough to stop that high-powered Rams offense. Now, with all of that said, we have seen recently the Rams have had a little bit of inconsistency from week to week. Sometimes if it's not an opponent that they really feel motivated to play, um, they are not in love with that. The positive is it's a Monday night. It's in Atlanta. It's so they don't have to worry about because they've traveled across the country or anything like that. They're going to be on TV. McVay's going to want to do well. So
Yeah,
they're going to have plenty of time. Also, Christmas will be 5 days over. They're going to be closer to the New Year's than Christmas, so they're not going to have that holiday hangover as much. They're going to have had time to have some holiday fun and get back to work playing
and
on
they
that.
get 3 extra days of rest
Yeah.
playing on Thursday night. I make them 9.5 point favorites.
Yep.
So, even with home field advantage, that kind of puts me right around that 8.5.
Yep.
But I tend to lean the same direction with you from a efficiency standpoint.
Yeah.
I gotta come down to getting final, maybe watching Atlanta's game one more time and seeing if I can pick out something that really makes me feel like I know which direction they're going to go. Because there are some games where they string together a bunch of Bijan and hits all of a sudden, and Drake London's coming back.
Yeah.
So you start looking at those and going like, well, they got some weapons,
Yeah.
but eight and 8.5 is not a fantastic number.
No.
I guess unless it
Atlanta's
really gets bought down.
Atlanta's a 6-9 team. They have nothing to play for, and the Rams are one game behind Seattle, one game ahead of San Francisco. If San Francisco hangs on and wins this game, they're going to be tied. These boys are in a dogfight, and they're going to keep playing
True.
football. I like
Well,
betting on
they
teams
definitely will.
that have something to play for.
No, and that's a really good point. That as we kind of get to this point in the season, you do need to look and see, hey, these teams that are playing, what do they have to play for? We know at this point, there's really only 4 teams that are locked into one position or out of the playoffs. You got Baltimore and Pittsburgh fighting over that division, and Tampa and Carolina fighting over theirs. Those 4, whoever wins is going to win that division. The next guy is way too low to make it into the wild card. Everybody else that's still alive has a shot at winning the division or a shot at winning wild card spots. So we should see for the teams that are still alive maximum effort. You at
Yep.
least hope so. That nobody's just dealing with falling back to a wild card spot, rolling the dice there. So yeah.
What do you have next?
I would say my next one is New England.
Yeah.
I make them a 17.5-point favorite. And they locked in Sandman pools at 13.5. So we're on the right side of the hook. A lot of points. It's on the road. But they're again in that position where you got to keep playing. And the Jets don't really need to keep playing.
Jets have not
And
been
we
good.
kind of watched the Jets not play last week or the week before, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
So, it feels like even on the road, it's a good matchup. It's a good motivation misalignment, I guess you'd call it, where
Yeah.
one guy's playing hard and the other one isn't really.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, where did your numbers come down on that one?
My numbers come down at New England favored by 11.
Okay.
Right now the FanDuel line has it at 12.5. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't gone in and readjusted, to be completely fair. I have to really downgrade the Jets quarterback situation. And actually, I'm going to do that as we speak and see what it does. Yeah, that moved it to 12. And I moved it significantly because, listen, we're Mizzou guys, right? And Brady Cook is the quarterback there, and he's really not shown well at all. And part of it is he's running for
No.
his life. The offensive line has not looked good. He's been getting his ass beat. But since he's been in, they've really looked bad. And I don't know if that's because rookie, too much pressure, they don't have any other options. I don't quite know what's going on there.
Well, I just think he's not very good at playing quarterback. I mean, we watched him
Yeah.
at Mizzou, and he was kind of in that run of just like big dudes with big arms that every one of them got drafted. I think just because of they were tall and they threw hard. Because you'd watch the games all season and go
Yeah.
like, this guy's barely above average. And then it would get to draft time and they'd be like, I don't know, he's like a top 3 quarter. You'd just be like, I don't know what we're talking about. But, that's the kind of guys that end with the Jets.
Yeah.
And being a
Well, I
third
mean,
string quarterback.
Brady has a lot of heart, a lot of guts. Respect the hell out of him from a college
Yeah.
standpoint, but at the NFL level, he's not executing. So for me, New England rolls in this, and it's going to be a New England play all the way. And I'm just hoping that it stays under 14 when our pools lock. I don't
Yeah.
know if it will or not, but I'm hoping it's not 14.5. I hate that number more than anything. 13.5.
Well, and it's working its way in the other direction. We may get a better number. We might be able to capture the 13.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 12 and the 11 aren't all that valuable, but,
Still,
to get down to 12.5 would be quite nice.
that would be great.
So yeah,
So
hopefully
that's a
that
good one.
pressure will hold.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Bouncing into a game that is kind of interesting on the page for me because I'm always saying, all right, if I'm getting a 3.5 in this division, I'm going to take it. But I might not this time. I'm going to break my own rule. Right now, Cleveland's plus 3.5 against Pittsburgh. We just talked about Pittsburgh and the Survivor, and my numbers make Pittsburgh 8.1 point favorites here. So I'm significantly on the positive towards Pittsburgh. Now I know what Pittsburgh just did or Cleveland just did to Buffalo, and I understand what Pittsburgh just did to Detroit. I think that's what's got these lines a little bit closer than they should be, what Cleveland did to Buffalo. And so I really feel like there's some value here.
I do too. I got them at 8.9. So, I mean, it's definitely one that's pointing me in the direction of laying those points. But yeah, these in-division games are tough because we've made a reasonable amount of right picks on getting our hands on home dogs that have something to play for, and this should be a thing Cleveland should be playing still.
Yes.
This shouldn't be them going, hey, we're done with this. They got a rookie quarterback. He's trying to prove things. Garrett's still trying to set the sack record. The defense is still trying to murder everybody that's on the field. But I do make Pitt a healthy favorite here.
Yeah.
And when you can lay less than the 7 on that, it seems like one of the ones that, without some things changing between now and Sunday, they were going to be laying some points on the road.
Yeah. In a lot of these instances. So Brandon, for our last one, my friend, in the spirit of the holiday season, and one of the greatest Christmas movies out there, Christmas Vacation, and the great character of Cousin Eddie, and the line of the famous "The Shitter's Full." We've got the Shitter Bowl happening in Las Vegas this week. We've got the New York Football Giants being the Las Vegas Raiders. And so in the Shitter Bowl, my numbers say that the Giants should be favored by 6.5. And DraftKings has them catching 1.5. So I'm looking at the Shitter Bowl going, what am I missing? What do you have?
So I've got the Giants as 0.2 point favorite. For any sort of, depending on what your opinions are of the, what do they call it? Death Palace or something out there. No. Whether you're going to give them any home field advantage in Vegas or not.
Not really.
We make them, basically the same output, between the two teams. The interesting thing that pops up to me with this game is that the Giants just had a down game where, our concussion machine was playing like somebody told him that he needed to stop getting hit in the head.
Yeah.
And so he did. And then it didn't work very well. And then you got Vegas, who all of a sudden shows up and shows out against Houston. So it would seem like, by the laws of zigging and zagging, that the Giants should be the pick here.
Yeah.
You're getting points. Doesn't really matter that you're on the road. Giants are probably better than they played last week. Vegas is worse than they played last week. It puts us in a pretty decent position. Now, the Giants just they're injuring people, and the offense isn't working. And so you just never know if this new guy that they put in, behind Dayball, if he's just incapable of calling a good game. But it does seem like everything points towards the Giants in my mind.
Yeah, I hate playing games like this, but because we have to, in the pools that we're in, you've got to have an opinion inside. But I'm sticking with Vegas is terrible. And the Giants are arguably, they're the first pick in the draft, as of right now. And they don't necessarily want to lose that. But at the same time, they don't need a quarterback. So having the second pick's not a big deal either.
True.
And you're going to be hard pressed to tell professional athletes, especially a young quarterback like that, who's still running around playing like he's in the Super Bowl, trying to 4 points, a coach who's maybe trying to prove himself. I don't know. But the only thing I can see is Brock Bowers running wild in this thing and causing me a headache.
That could be. They definitely worked something out this last week. They worked out, that I guess there are some holes in Houston's defense. And maybe, that'll be one of the ones that goes, because I fairly intently watched that game. But I don't really know if there was a pattern to what Raiders offense was taking advantage of.
Yep.
It just seemed like they were pretty freely moving the ball every time I looked over at it. So that may be one that once I get a chance to kind of watch it all in order, that it'll be a little clearer what they might be bringing to the game next week. Yeah,
absolutely. So, Brandon, unless you've got any miracles on 34th Street that you want to share, I think
No,
that's
I think
coming
that's
to
a
the
good bit
end of
of
our holiday episode a little bit of a day early.
yeah.
Quick 30-minute hit. Hope you guys enjoy the short show. We'll be back with maybe full next week. We got New Year's. We'll probably talk a little college and stuff. So we'll probably lock in
Yeah.
and try to give you guys a full episode next week and add some college in. And maybe we'll go a little bit extra with all the details of the bowl season and what's going on. So, Brandon, anything for the team before we leave?
Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great time and be safe out there.
Stay safe.